What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and we have good news. Miss Kitty does not have to share her man no more. Like the video as the intro plays, because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
One, please. When you reach out to me, make it make common sense, please.
Your intro.
Make it make sense.
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Do you know how this fire started?
Yes, I do. It was because of my cousin. And I don't want to mention no names.
Your cousin.
Yes.
And you said you think your cousin started this. Do you know how or why?
He's mad because he can't get with me. I'm married to my husband. And
Love is love. Okay, so I want to start here. Dwight Howard has never had any good publicity. If you remember way back when Royce Reed started Basketball Wives, Dwight Howard had set her up. Well, first off, they weren't ever supposed to get together. So they got together. I believe that Royce got in trouble because as a cheerleader, you weren't really supposed, or dance team, you weren't really supposed to be, with the basketball players. So they had a baby, and to my knowledge, there was an ironclad NDA in agreement. She could stay in this McMansion with the child, and she just was not allowed to mention anything about him. I'm sure if you're a Basketball Wives fan like I am, then you remember all of this. She was not allowed to talk about him, and then she talked about him. Lost the McMansion, everything. But that sets a tone. Dwight really likes his personal business, I guess, staying private. And had some of this stuff gotten out while he was in the NBA, he would be the first openly gay player in the NBA. So he had a lot to lose, major contracts. I think he played for the Heat, the Lakers. He had a very long career. Cut to more recently, he's had a couple of people accuse him of assault. And then there was something that went on with Royce. Just a little crazy reminder. So Royce was charged with child neglect, and that stemmed from her son having done some inappropriate things with younger children. And Royce, very narrowly avoided getting in trouble for this. Either way it goes, people then started to connect dots. Like, well, if the son is doing things like this, is it because he is seeing certain things in the father's home when he's with the father? And when you have two sexual assault allegations, it's not like a far reach, we'll say. So that happened. But I want to get into the first trans woman who took issue with Dwight Howard. This one, you'll be surprised, I think, on my take on it. As you know, typically I'm championing the causes of victims. But in this situation, I did think that something seemed kind of off. Her name was Mazin. And this year, March of 2024, Dwight dropped a countersuit against Mazin. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. But basically, it says the saga between Dwight Howard and Mazin appears to be over after the NBA legend dropped his lawsuit against the social media influencer. Mazin also broke his silence for the first time since Howard decided not to pursue any legal actions against him. Or I don't know if the correct term is him or her. The article saying him. I'll try my best to... I'm going to just say her because aesthetically, but we don't know the pronouns. According to Radar Online, Howard's camp dropped the lawsuit about a month after a judge in Georgia declined to throw out Stephen Harper's sexual assault case against him. The three-time NBA depoy argued that his sexual encounters with Harper were consensual. regardless of what happens in that case, Mazin is happy that it was proven that he wasn't lying about Howard. So here's the thing. When Mazin made the claims, I'll just show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Mazin was not claiming sexual assault per se. Mazin was saying that she was in a consensual relationship, and then after the relationship ended, Dwight's pastor, maybe attorney, was reaching out, harassing her to sign an NDA. And so then she decided to expose Dwight. I'm sorry, but just based on these things, I feel like she wanted to expose Dwight. She says, this is some of the stuff that she dropped. It says, does your mother, brother, friends know that you like to deal with trans and men? Or is that just something you've kept to yourself? Dwight responded, why are you asking me for? Why are you asking me for? She responded, I'd like to know. He said, I don't want to answer. Why? I don't want to. I can't know, for real. It's nothing to know. Now, if somebody is dropping these type of receipts and the first thing they're asking you is about who in your life knows, I could kind of see where Dwight would be leery. Now, the fact that you were leery and then still went and, did what y'all did, that's on you. But to me, it feels like they were setting themselves up for some type of celebrity. Anytime, male, female, trans, whatever, once you're dating a celebrity, it gives you leverage and it gives you automatic celebrity. So I found Mazin's Twitter. Mazin just wrote a book called Industry Ho. So I don't know Mazin. I'm just saying, for me personally, the lawsuit felt more like it was to out Dwight. And on top of that, Mazin was also angry because Dwight was cheating on her with Miss Kitty. So this is Mazin. This is Miss Kitty. Now, Miss Kitty will come up again. Y'all remember when Claudia dressed as Kitty? Oh, don't forget to like the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. A lot of you guys asked me to start doing shorter form content, and that's exactly what this video is. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, hit that like button. It's a free way to support content creators. Super chats are always welcome, but I'm just saying I never really asked for those, or cash apps. I feel like I got some cash apps. I need to, on my next live, address those people and say thank you. I didn't even realize I had gotten any. But anyway, that was Claudia. So now Mazin's case got dismissed. The reason that I'm seeing some holes in Mazin's story is you chose to expose Dwight with these text messages, but I never saw you expose any of the harassing messages that you received from Dwight's pastor and or lawyer. So if you're not exposing those, which is why you actually have a lawsuit, to me that it feels like maybe you felt slighted because Miss Kitty was going to be in the picture whether you liked it or not. She talked about Dwight going to transsexual adult parties. Either way it goes, we all know where Dwight's heart is. Moving right along. So today, I always told you guys, I'm going to keep you guys updated. Dwight's latest lawsuit was dismissed. And the young lady who did it, or man, Stephen Harper is the name. So we're just going to say Stephen. Stephen dismissed it on his own. So it says a civil lawsuit filed against Dwight Howard that alleged sexual assault and battery was dismissed Monday in Gwinnett County, Georgia, according to a court filing obtained by The Athletic on Wednesday. Stephen Harper, who filed the lawsuit against Howard in July of 2023, dismissed all claims he asserted against the former NBA player with prejudice, which means Harper cannot refile a suit on those claims against Howard in Gwinnett County Court. So now you're thinking, okay, well, he got paid off. Not so fast. Harper had alleged in the lawsuit that Howard sexually assaulted him at Howard's home in Georgia on July 19, 2021. In the complaint, Harper also accused Howard of intentional infliction of emotional distress and false imprisonment. In a filing in October, Howard denied the allegations and said he engaged in consensual sexual activity with Harper. In his response, Howard also said he expressed interest in meeting up with Harper in Atlanta after the two corresponded via text and Instagram beginning in May of 2021. Screenshots of the alleged exchange were included in the complaint. In February, a Georgia judge denied a motion by Howard's lawyer to dismiss the suit. The judge also sealed an exhibit that Howard's lawyer said contained embarrassing, sexually explicit text messages, according to a prior court filing. Harper reported the incident to the police in July of 2022 per Gwinnett County Police Department records, identifying Howard as his ex-boyfriend. So we know it was probably a little bit of sexting going on. No charges were filed. Now that is strange. They had one encounter, but Stephen is saying that it was his ex-boyfriend. Police said they repeatedly attempted to interview Harper after he reported the incident until they sent a letter last August notifying him the case would be suspended if he did not cooperate with the investigation, but never heard back. Howard, 38, hasn't played in the NBA since the 21-22 season with the Los Angeles Lakers. So, okay, backstory. What happened with Stephen is Stephen went over for a hookup. Stephen got all dressed up. Thought that things were about to pop off, and then Miss Kitty showed up in the room, and Stephen was informed that it was going to be a three-person situation. Stephen alleges that Stephen was not into it, didn't know that there was going to be a third person, but went ahead and did it. And then Miss Kitty took Stephen home. You file a police report, but you never cooperate with the police. And then 1 year later, you file a lawsuit. Now, people tell me all the time, you know, I'm too easy on Cassie. But the difference with Cassie is Cassie was her employer who coerced her into doing drugs and then was actually assaulting her. In this situation, you have a hookup who wants you to do something that you did not want to do. Did they close the door and lock it so that you could not leave? Like, I guess the question, and this is a question for everybody, does being uncomfortable in a situation automatically mean that you were assaulted? At some point when you guys were having consensual sex, did you say stop? Because that's a big part of it too. And I didn't see anywhere where that was addressed. So for this case to get dismissed, one of two things. Maybe it was frivolous. To Stephen's defense, it has to be extremely expensive to maintain legal bills for a court battle that continues to get extended. So it could just be that Stephen didn't have the money, or it could just be that the lawsuit was frivolous to begin with. Either way it goes, like I said, Dwight is free to marry Miss Kitty at any given time. You know, with that particular hairstyle, you know a couple things. Miss Kitty can probably cook. And if she's going out the house looking like that, she probably don't give a damn about too much. What we do know is both of Dwight's other alleged lovers said that Miss Kitty was the problem. Miss Kitty was a problem, and Miss Kitty was in the way. Either way it goes. I hope all parties involved find love, peace, and happiness. But as it stands right now, Dwight Howard has no court cases against him. Y'all have a good day. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.